Well, hello world. This is 567 Days Homeless, and this is what I'm doing all day long to defeat it. This is 6:30 in the morning, trying to get a case manager at the Coalition for the Homeless.
Well, good morning. I'm having like the weirdest time adjusting to this new phone. I have a privacy screen, and it's a bigger screen, and I'm at the homeless shelter, so it's really hard to do video here, and I just want to be as respectful and just have me in the shots. But early this morning at 6:35, I did something I've never done before. Just trying to get in line for case manager at Coalition for the Homeless. This group is the one that has had the most success with people I've known getting housing from being homeless. But it's very hard to get a case manager. They only do it on Wednesday mornings for single people. And I got there at 6:30. I've heard people start lining up at 5. And then today I heard when the weather warms up, people will get there as early as 9 p.m. the night before. It's the first 10 people at the front door. They had someone from security come out and just talk to us about I don't know, we had like one more hour to go, but I was like the 20th person, and I had heard they take like the first 25 people, but there was a sign on the door and everybody was saying, first it was really weird. I was dealing with a population that I don't ever really get to interact with much. Women. There was a woman locally from here, and then there was another woman from New Jersey. And that was the two people in front of me. It was interesting. I felt bad for them because it's so cold. I felt worse for them than I did for men. Everybody in the line seemed to be pretty with it, sober and safe. Everybody seemed to be a more general community mood. But I do know that the security guy, he came out and was like, if you get robbed right here, you can come out and report it to us. But early in the morning, I was there at 6:30, and 6:35 when I took off the scooter and got in line, and I was already about twice as late as I should have been. Going to that appointment today with a security case manager, and then you have to keep in touch with them every 30 days. People who get arrested, it screws them up because they have went through the process of whatever Wednesday morning they waited. And then if they are not responsive over 30 days, there can be a big problem with that. But today, since I wanting to get experience with that, I didn't know or think I would really be successful. I thought it would be a big stroke of luck. And once I get a case manager, really I would say most of the people that I think have defeated homelessness this way. And it's a good thing that I'm off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so it allows me to prepare for being up there early. But I have known a few people that have got places, and some good places that way. It would be great if that could happen. But so I'm gonna try today, and then here I am at the day homeless shelter, open at 7 a.m. So that guy came out and told us we were in that line. We weren't the first 10. There's staff shortage. Used to be 20, now it's 10 people they take every Wednesday or once a week. But I'm here at the day homeless shelter because it's close by. I need to check my mail. But I can't for another 28 minutes. So what's happened is I forgot to just pause the scooter outside because I didn't want anyone to take it. I didn't know I couldn't check the mail until 8 today. So it gives me that 30-minute, from 7:30 to 8. I'm just going to wait. Doesn't make sense to leave right now because I need to check the mail. Had to go make sure the scooter was turned off and deactivated, not just pause. So someone could take the scooter, but I didn't want to run over. And again, I'm just here killing 30 minutes. I'm close to where I was waiting in line outside. And I can't really get on some new Wi-Fi right now. It's kind of like there's no Wi-Fi here. It's very much like a sit and hold it and wait kind of time. This little area section of the day center I'm at is where I spent a lot of time last winter before I went to West Virginia. Feeling very crappy, very powerless. This time I don't feel that way as much. I just feel like this was more efficient. Still want to get my office space, shared office space through Grid Collaborative on Broadway. I think it's what I'm going to try to do as soon as I can. It would just be eliminate this having to need here to be here for taking mail. Always have problems getting all of my mail. Institutions like banks will send me the debit cards. You never anything. You get robbed 10 times and you've placed your license. You use your snap card, right? And then you need your all your cards. And I never get them. I'll get 2 times, and then one for the credit builder, one for the checking account. PayPal sends one, Venmo sends one, Cash App sends one. You can never keep all of your cards. And then when you need an Uber or Lyft, because you are constantly placing a wallet. And you can't store your documents anywhere. The Colorado Legal Services will help you obtain them. If you get robbed, they'll help you get a new one from any state for free. It takes a while. But if you have them with you, you can't store them there.
Amazing information I found out today at a meeting later on in the day. One organization will store the documents, but just not where the organization helps obtain them. But I found finally, and I can't believe, I'm telling everybody now, do you know you can store your documents here? Because this is major news. We didn't know. Found out today. It's incredible how much information.
That's where you go for vouchers. If it's not Metro Caring, the Colorado Legal Services has the big place to get the vouchers right now is Colorado Legal Services. It's just kind of this constant ecosystem of different organizations, very closely affiliated, but all have different roles, different days they have staff meetings and department meetings, and they close early. And last time I was here really was that day I did a video on the if I was born 5 years earlier. This place here feels like Sesame Street. It feels because we're in downtown, but we're in the old section of downtown near 5 Points of Rhino. It's just we're really close to downtown. We just don't have any Wi-Fi network, and they have a Wi-Fi network here, but we can't use it. And this is where you're at. Last winter when I would stay at the homeless shelter a lot, I would stay there, and then they would get you up at 6:30 in the morning, and then we'd come here at 7. And I was fortunate to just get this other outlet right here. I don't need it as bad as I used to, but it's just since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and get the outlet. Go for this 30 minutes. The next thing I'm going to be doing today, this is 30 minutes, it's just because since I couldn't get in over there, you'd love to go do something else, but for me to have the most, be able to get as much done as I can and not go anywhere, less wear and tear on my body. Let me emphasize what I mean by that. I routinely walk over 100 miles a month. I have Medicaid, no family, but the risk to physical exhaustion and starvation and everything else is just too great. I really do need to just sit here for 8 more minutes. They're already there. I'm just gonna wait for them until it's opening hours to get the mail. If I had that co-office space, this would be eliminated. I could get my mail there. I don't think there would be a reason to come here, except for a voucher or some new program with this group had to be involved. But I could do 24/7. I could go there, I get my packages. You can't get packages here. It would be significant. And then later today I have a meeting with another organization, the last one I got on with, and she's going to take me to her of their crisis stabilization place. And what we're doing at this meeting at 11 is another intake and paperwork, orientation. Another group is supposed to help me get housing. But I told her, I was look, I'm already working. I've been working. I want to try to defeat it this way, but I need somewhere to stay. Kind of just let her know, my housing arrangements are changing, and I would really like to know if she can help. And she said, come in today. We're going to see if our bed can be available. Don't know if I can work and they can let me in when I get off work. That is really going to be, if this doesn't work today, then I'm just gonna go back to the friend plan and find something short term. Probably not as long as where I've been staying, but this is like so close to all this being over. There's also like, what if I got robbed this morning at 6:30? You know, nobody else can really understand. All I need to do is just check my mail. Just go get my mail like you might have at a post office box. And, 24/7, you can go to the post office and get a key. I have to be in line, and I have to wait. I have to show my ID. I have to be here at the right time. I have identification to get in here already. So it is a lot. And then I thought I would maybe show you some things on my to-do list, or just kind of make a to-do list. These are items that aren't on a to-do list yet, but we'll just make them on this video for demonstration purposes. And I love this app. I really like Microsoft To Do. You can use this, like me and somebody else in another state could be working on the same things, and we can cross things off. I love all the versatility with it. It really is. It's a really cool app, Microsoft To Do. You don't even need an iPhone to use it.
All right, so I'm going to try to narrate this in sync with what I did earlier. First on the to-do list is if I could find an invoice with a address to send a check to for my Xfinity monthly Wi-Fi. Since I don't have home internet, I'm paying for Wi-Fi access on the hotspots. If I can have an invoice, then I can get that reimbursed. Why? Because I have HIV. I agree, it doesn't make all sense, but it's just kind of like what people in McDowell County say, every little bit helps. And then the Obama phone program is going away, so inquire about Xfinity Wi-Fi service too. There's probably a better way to do these videos, but just know this video is for all time. This is for me to go back and reference 25 years from now when I'm writing a paper about homelessness. So Xfinity Wi-Fi only, just paying for the Wi-Fi hotspot access, right? Because you're homeless, Xfinity, it just turns out you sign up for that with an email and a phone number, the box to check to auto renew. I have went through this like an exhaustive task with Xfinity's robot customer service and the real people and the person in the store and everything. There isn't, because you don't have a physical address where the service is. It's just the company, Xfinity, which is what you have to kind of have here, so you don't burn up your data in 2 days. And I understand the older people who get like these Obama phones, and they're just like, well, it don't work for 2 days. I get it, because they burn up their Wi-Fi or their data. You can't get an invoice. It's just another disparity. Like when I had my home, when I was home, and had HIV, they would reimburse me for part of my internet. And I was just like, this has nothing to do with it. That's just how the Ronald Reagan laws are. But I can't get it now. I also need to try to obtain a clothing voucher today. It's already something that kind of in the works. It's just on my list of things to go and do. To give the day homeless shelter where I get my mail a little bit of credit, and because I observe these things and see these things, I can't get an invoice to show me where to send the check to pay for Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspot access only, right? But the homeless shelter, day homeless shelter, does have this open forum. They care about if you have ways to make the day homeless shelter better. We care. Like, it's awesome that they still do that, All right, now that checking mail is over, you get PayPal today, PayPal cards, which is important because I'm able to save like 4% on an Uber or Lyft. Occasionally, you might be able to have one, and you save that 4%, but only you can pay on PayPal. So you gotta go in your app and like update your payment from your last missing card, and if you were doing it like with a Chime card before, like change all that. Like every time you pay, it's always a little bit different all the time. But my scooter, fortunately, is still here. Notice there's not any other scooters here. But now I'm going to go do kind of like a social call, my social visit with some friends. This was the time when they were available, and it worked for me. These are people I hadn't seen in a long time, but really had a good time meeting them before. One of the guys said, he's from Oregon. He's like, can you try my sweet tea? Tell me what you think of it. And it was nice. So I'm going to go see. They could be complete game changers. They could have a solution for me for housing if nonprofit doesn't. But I want to see them, and I have time to do it. So it's kind of like using your heart. It's like a muscle. Use it, don't lose it kind of thing too. And then I have a meeting at 11. That's what I'll be doing.
I want to take a pause at my commute. So I'm going from the homeless shelter for check my mail to a bus stop and go down Colfax to see someone. And here is the big post office. This is kind of like the big Mom Bell post office. It reminds me a lot of the place in Charleston, West Virginia. That's where the homeless shelter was, like in a church, right? Corey Street. I think United Methodist, I think, is what it was. But that's like very similar type thing from here in Charleston. This post office is exactly the same. Looks exactly the same, but I have found like this shared office space, and versus like trying to get a post office box, what I have found is that it has been very hard on the heart for two reasons. One, my brother was always supportive of saying he would do it, but never has came through, and always has like, well, I need to know specifically, I don't know, he just has like particular information that makes it challenging. But also it's like, I would like to get a post office box right here. When this time last year when I was homeless and staying at the homeless shelter, having a P.O. box right here in this little section of where the homeless shelter is on this side of town made a lot of sense. But you know what didn't? What if something became available to where I could, live in Aurora, or not? Like, if I get a post office box, it's a year commitment or whatever over here. And if you're trying to defeat homelessness, it's just kind of like you're burning money, or you're always going to be inefficient with like where you're checking your mail at. So I've never got a P.O. box, and I would really like to just do it at, and make a full commitment to getting the shared office space, and like keep it, like have a place. Even if my job changes at 7-Eleven, still keep the shared office space as something kind of like my phone, the old red phone, that the small one. The only thing that I ever had while homeless is pretty much that red phone. It's the oldest thing that I still have, and it's important. But I might just want to keep that shared office space and have that as a way to build. If I'm not homeless, going there with more pride and dignity than you do at, at Coalition over there, 5 o'clock in the morning if I have to be. So I just want to show that, like, getting just access to your mail has become ridiculously hard. And also right here in this section of the street we're at, in the summertime, there are a lot of tents, and this is a very dangerous place to be. I've been through here like on a Friday, like at 6:30. Oh, like, you don't want to be here at all. It's so dangerous. But right now, there's no tents. So like, you ever thought about things have changed? But then you have to when your life depends on it. I just stopped scooter. Now I'm going to Union Station. Turned out that better way to get to where I'm going is going to be through here. Get to warm up a little bit. And I was just thinking more about that mail situation. It's just not being able to get mail, get it when you want to, having to go through all these roles and not ever really be where you're at, starting your day to where your mail is. It's been frustrating. It's just coming to get mail. But it takes a lot to get that done. But just the whole process of trying to get a P.O. box seemed like something that would be very practical and not too hard to do. But with my brother's difficulty, unnecessary difficulty, and then just, if I get a P.O. box, I want to feel like I have a grounding of that's where I'm going to be getting. That's going to be like in my new neighborhood, right? We just can't really control when to go get a P.O. box in the neighborhood I live in, and it was just it's just way too early to start making these trips, specifically here. It's just kind of like, well, wait till you have, more to go on. And it's so frustrating to just not be able to get your mail away from one I want to. Right behind me, right, that gate, that's Amtrak. I mean, that's Greyhound. Greyhound, they come in from like Vegas or Louis, like every day. Somewhere, Idaho, somewhere. It's just kind of neat though, like, that's where people come from. First Almighty City, it's like the dropping point is right there. Here is the West Concourse Union Station. There's that song, Little Miss, Little Miss, Little Miss, Can't Be Wrong. It's a hard segment for you to watch. I know, I'm making these videos for all time, and I'm making them for the New York Times after I'm dead, trying to defeat homelessness.
How's it feel, Ron Riggs? This is your friend Rita. How's it feel to know you really haven't done much either? But my mother traveled extensively in the 2010s, probably too much. Because when she came back to America in 2021, she told me she couldn't remember anything that happened before 2020. My father was January 6th. He went to the Atlantic coast of Maine in the global pandemic's height. This family has spent its equity foolishly. And I have to say that right now in this video. Why? Well, whoever might ever want to marry my brother, their family needs to know this stuff. Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, that's a picture of me gluing my shoes back together, walking over 134 miles in July 2023 alone, starving to death and trying to defeat homelessness. That was what my family was fine with. So like I said, we'll get right back to the video and learning about my productive day, which ultimately turns out to be a really great day and very productive, focusing on the present, but also just taking a look at my father's 6,000 square foot house, one of many homes that all of my parents have. And my brother is someone I'm trying to love. I'm trying to move forward as quickly as possible on the fact that he still is unable to see what probably other people are able to see. Still number one. It might not be the same anymore, but it's still the best. There ain't nothing like it. Why do I use this language? Well, because I feel I need to. I know every generation blames one before, but you know, it's just their fault. We do it because it has to be done. And it's important for people like Dr. Eloise Elliott at West Virginia University, or Dr. Sean Bolger, or Dr. Ron Morrow, or anyone else that had a significant role in doing something very similar to what my parents did. That they all need to just survive without titanium in their hearts, or not. They're just really going to have to deal with the responsibility of their actions. And I want to say, we're going to get right back to this video. Overall, it's a very productive day. A lot of good things happen in this day. It turns out to be funny at the end. But I have put this video part in here for all time. Because I'm talking to the New York Times. I'm not talking to Bill Archer anymore. You have to understand that. And you have to understand the magnitude and the level it's putting on my cardiovascular health, being homeless. And the taxing shit my dad's doing. We'll learn about that in a minute. I'm not talking to Greg Carter. I'm talking to Christian Amanpour. I'll talk to Larry Fanning one time. Why don't you do something, Larry? Now would be a great time. Can you do more than your son can do? Praise the Lord. I still hold my head up high, and I still try, and I'm demonstrating in this video, specifically, time and time again, I'm demonstrating I never gave up. I never gave up myself. The family did. This is not my fault. I'm doing everything I can to fight it, including this video. Do you know how many other people do something like this? I don't. I believe in myself. I believe in things like Granny did. Most of them, all the time, all the way. And I think I have no regrets on that. This is a place where I worked from remotely. I come through here. And I'm sitting right over here once, and this guy said, he was from Pikeville, I think, Kentucky. And he was like, I don't want to go back. You know how it is over there. He wanted me. It was time for him to go back to Pikeville, I guess. And I was just like, I don't know you. I can't trust you. It felt awful because I knew that he was just sad and didn't want to leave here. But one more thing on the mail. The one more thing on the mail that is particularly important to include this video is, all the challenges of getting the mail, being there, waiting in line, not in the right place where you start your day, and all the weird hours, and just the hassle of being in line. And it's just a reminder that it's not, like your mailbox outside where the front door is. It's how it's been for me in my life, but at least it's one of those, the country believes in you when no one else does, kind of things. There's people serving on submarines, and they have, a unique way of getting mail too. Well, I have
this country believes in me to have the place that I have right to receive mail at. It's not just all up to whatever P.O. box my dad's using. It's me. Without a home, this country believes I can have mail sent directly to me. And that's something I've been thinking about. It's how my summer when there was a guy I was helping that didn't have a phone and was trying to get one. And his big problem was not having done the process to get access to mail where I get it out. It would have helped him a lot. But I've always taken care of those things, and it kind of goes hand in hand with, I got my wallet in here with that video I've got where I'm going through everything in my wallet.
And I had to pull out my wallet. My backpack, it's nice and clean. Money's crisp. I got $2 in there. I got about 8 bus tickets. I got a credit card waiting on an ID, which I have on the phone, digital ID, recognized state legal developed by the state. I've got 2 debit cards in there. I am ready to go. And this doesn't seem so important to you. If you have never been robbed 8 times in 1 year, you're second? If it's been 406 days and you're homeless like this, you take pride in the fact that you still have respect.
Just crisp and it's clean. Not $2 and 4 bus tickets in there, but I've got everything ready to go because I respect myself. You know, it's when you get into like stealing IDs and you know your mail ain't coming to, you don't have anything like that at all legitimate anymore. I've always had that. It's always been very important to me. Control what you can. And this country believes in me having mail still. Very important. It's so essential to everything else.
I want everybody to take a hard look at reality. This is 1994. This is the day my mother still believed in her children, her husband, and that she would be thin again.
To my mother, Rita's great-great-great-great-grandchildren, my mama said, be the best. And praise the Lord, I still am. When Carolyn Phelan falls, when Todd and Michelle Fry fall, when all of Southern West Virginia is on fire, and my mother can't remember who she's married to or where her debit card is.
And what a debit card is, what a card is.
Praise the Lord, this is where the strength is, and it is still rock solid. 567 days homeless for the second time.
This is 2023. It's probably the last time you'll ever see me and Tom Acosta in a picture together, because this is when I found out my father was sleeping with a 7-year-old boy, and Karen Phelan is the assistant superintendent. No, she's the retired superintendent of McDowell County Schools, and Todd Fry is a Grand Mason in America's #1 TV hometown that left me to die with this information and could not do anything.
I know how to deal with. You know, so is divorce attorney Sarah Stevens, who's been a leader. Sarah Stevens in charge. If I have to go get 10,551 views, double that number. I'm lucky because I have the world's best ex-girlfriend, Eve Gillespie. She became principal at the Farrington Elementary School. Eve, I miss you. I hope you get motivated and fired up to just say, I'm going to be the only person who's going to have an ex-boyfriend that was homeless for over 500 days from America's #1 best TV hometown. Sarah Stevens, you got some explaining to do, and so do you, Aunt Maddie, for your Karen that I hadn't felt.
On the stolen IDs part, only time I really ran into that would have been when I got robbed, like August, September, one of the last times I got robbed, and it was, met someone in an elevator. I knew of him, and he pulled out an ID at the elevator where we met, at the train stop, and it wasn't him on it, but I did ask him, but I kind of already knew, and I was like, why do you have it? And he was like, well, you know, he wanted to buy cigarettes, like he was in California, and, you know, he never went through the process of registering himself to get mail, so it was just like the task of getting his own ID. It was just, for him, the best thing to do would be to just have someone else's ID and like they're out there. I mean, you work at 7-Eleven, and people leave them there. You know, when he robbed me just for the backpack itself. I knew that. But I had to go replace everything else that he took. Probably just threw it in a dumpster somewhere, but we don't know. But I know he robbed me just for the backpack itself that time. But I have, you know, got to where I'm at today. Employment, almost about to rent office space or, you know, really defeat homelessness here really quickly if things could just be stable for just a little bit longer. None of that would have happened if I never, and I will say, I remember going, so, you know, I was September 8th, leaving my apartment, coming here, getting on Greyhound, going to North Carolina, that not working out, Yale University, Charlotte, hospital, then sunshine me back here. It's right here was pretty much where I was when I put down my suitcase and my backpack, gave someone a hug, and then my other I had 2 backpacks. One of them was, that's all, as long as it took to give someone a hug, as long as it took to give someone a hug is how fast it took for that backpack to go away. That was the first time my license social went away. But then I remember just being right here back to downtown Denver when I thought I'd be in North Carolina and never, ever coming back to Denver again. But then having to go walk down to the shelter and get registered for mail, get my first meal. And I remember I emailed, actually my probation officer from the year and a half before. She just saw great things ahead of my future and my determination and the will to just, I was a unique person that she didn't see very often. I remember talking to her and just being like, here I am. And she was just very concerned and thoughtful, and how fortunate it was because she's had so much as the COVID vaccination and the end of 2021 was coming out. She just thought I would be lifted up and, you know, doing great things again. But that was a hard time going to get registered for mail and going and accepting and just being part of, I still did not stay at the shelter overnight for some time, but that was just kind of like right away. It's still warm in the fall. That's when I did that. Fall 2022. Here it is, winter 2024. Being homeless, fighting it has taken up more than 15% in my 30s. So I'm just looking forward to what I can do and see my friends and have my meeting today and feeling like I've done everything I can do by the time I go to sleep tonight and go back to work tomorrow. Another thing on my to-do list would be the Work While app. They texted me and said, if you work at an Office Max, you don't like day off, you know the time to work. But I had to do a background check that completed, and now I've got to go somewhere and do a 10-panel drug testing. 10-panel drug testing, except they don't count you down for TC. But I have to do that step before I can go work on my day off. And it's got to be available on that day again through that app alone. But why not? Right.
When I say like getting the mail is so essential, I have a snap card right there. It doesn't refill to the 6 or doesn't own it, but having the process of being able to receive one when I need to as quickly as I can, even if it's for the 9th time, being able to have a way to go get mail, know how, separates me from other people. Another thing I have is this live discount card in my wallet. Got a PayPal card, Snap card, driver's license, actual driver's license, not ID. That took some fighting for a time. Credit card, and then my library card are in there. Another thing I have, you know, are my bus tickets. But my bus tickets are orange, and that's a discounted rate. I have to actually have. I have been, before I got this card, that was something else requiring you to know how to go get it online. You have to have a phone, just take a picture of yourself as part of the upload process. That's how they get a picture of you on there. But like, this is why having the phone is important, because if I didn't get with this time, maybe last spring when it was uploading a picture of my ID to something, and the phones, the tablet that I had, because I didn't have the phone then, the tablets lens had not worked right, and it would not focus, and it was like, well, it's just one little step, like, because I don't have a device that works. And you can't just go borrow, you're already homeless, you can't just go borrow someone else at, Motel 6. You can't be like, oh, can I have your phone for a minute? You can't do that. But it's part of how the new millennium is. And I have that new live card, which means I have the right designation as a rider that corresponds with my ticket. So that I have actually, there's a few times, it's not happening often, there's a few times when I was like in North Denver, and the bus driver would say, if you don't have your live card, I'm going to tell you that you can't get on this bus, and you'll have to wait for the next one and caught up with the next driver. That's happened too before. So like all those kind of delays constantly slow down, and I would never even have those tickets. I would probably have a digital ticket if I was working and never lost my apartment. I would probably not even have to do any of that. It would just be like I would have my job, my apartment, and I would just go with the digital fare for that day. That's how it used to work. But now it's like you have to keep up with all that just to get back what you already had, which was access to riding the bus the way I used to do it. Time out for some James Taylor. Winter, spring, summer, fall. All you got to do is call. I'll be there. There are the Rocky Mountains. I know you can see them. I can see them right now. Look in the camera. So there are some of them. So what's happened? A couple hours went by since my last little video on the other day. Day in the life. Productive and reflective. This is what I'm doing to defeat homelessness. I went and got a clothing voucher. The way it turned out at our meeting at 11, I had a great full visit where I was going. That might lead to something still. I'm not sure yet. But with this meeting at 11, they did not have any immediate results. But then I went to go get a clothing voucher at my other organization. I've got a really good case manager at this one. What I did is I got a clothing voucher, which I need, and I'm gonna check my mail. I also inquired about opening another self-storage. We'll be there between 9:30 and 9:45 and 1:15 to 1:30. That's when you gotta be. So I'll be checking my mail at those times and opening up the self-storage. Take, because I'm gonna get some clothing for, spring. And while I was out the organization getting the clothing voucher, I also found out I'll be eligible for a 2-week hotel voucher in April. I'm thinking that might kick in, might be the second week of April. So I have secured a place where I could stay, just not the very first few days in April, but it is likely. I've done this before. Last one was in like December, and then the times before that was like in the spring or the summer, early summer. I'll be over there at Lucky You again. Lucky You Motel. I have a job. I'm reporting to that job and going back to Lucky You. It's a train ride and a scooter ride, but it's really like it's something I can, are you done this job at 7-Eleven? Are you done Lucky You Motel? It'll be my own place. I'm really happy. It's like the days come together. I just don't have those first few days in April completely lined up yet. But I talked to a friend who's interested in actually working at that same 7-Eleven. And I'm like, well, come on over. So it's been a hunky-dory, busy day, always. But I am in so much better shape now than I was. I got food bank food. So I got my food bank food with eggs, good produce, really good strawberries and grapes today. Got some fried potatoes, so we'll have some of those. They're not fried yet, but
What the fuck?
If that man is scaring you, remember it's broad daylight, and all people really care about is me going back to work.
Some more hot chocolate mix. So it's been a really good day. And I'm gonna go drop it off, and then I'm gonna go to the place where I can redeem some of those clothing vouchers for some things I need. It'd be great. I'm in much better shape today now, halfway through the day, than I was when I started. So it's good.
I'm just feeling good, getting a lot of stuff done. The heartbeat of America might be Chevrolet. But Lime Scooters, it's time to lime. And we got to. When life gives you limes, scooters, use them to get groceries where you need to go. This is taking care of business all the time. All day long, every day, all the time. Can you see that yellow splat egg right there? Barely can see it. Well, I turned that curve and all my groceries. The eggs didn't make it, most of them. Everything out of the food bank just went on this street here for a minute, and somebody helped me. I don't feel bad. I mean, it does kind of suck when you're taking all your groceries on the scooter, flying around in curves, trying to defeat homelessness.
The destination is on your left.
They went over Broadway too, but I ain't got very far to go. And then we'll be on the way to redeem the clothing voucher. And now I came back because it was flying rice-a-roni earlier on this scooter. When you don't have much, you might as well not have flying rice-a-roni on the ground forever. I'm gonna take it and bring it as Parmesan cheese flavored. I'm gonna try something crazy and be able to enable it. Alright, so like on a day like today, when Nate and his rice-a-roni's flying there, it reminds me of a day, June 12th, 2023. It's kind of coming up on that bus ride. It's my last little segment. And that was a day where like everybody in Denver was just like, we can't believe how this new millennium turned out. And it reminded me, I was spending the night somewhere in Texas. My friend in Texas, he took me somewhere. It reminded me of Gary Bowling's House of Art in Bluefield with the Time Warp. Gary Bowling is an artist in Bluefield, West Virginia, my dad's friend. And when we went to where we went, I had a good old time. He was just like, it felt like Gary Bowling's House of Art in there. And I woke up that morning, and I grabbed that fire extinguisher, and I was like, heartbeat of America, I'm Chevrolet. But it was just a day of like, Whitney Houston said excel because of time. Everything was going nuts. Another thing that happened, I'm not gonna get over this bumpy summer. There was just a lot going on on June 12th, but it was just kind of like a day of like, we ain't gotta worry about it today. So don't worry, be happy, take economy today. And it gave me the strength to go on through all the other days. And now I'm about to drop this phone, so I'm gonna stop while I'm lucky. I'm about to go to off to the clothing voucher place, the Arc. It's kind of like Goodwill, and I'll be getting some things I need, and I will be so much more set up for success. And now I can focus on working hard. The other days, kind of running around town today and got mail checked, and my meetings, appointments, talked to some friends and food bank. Did secure housing in April for 2 weeks. I already know where I'm staying. I like that place. And it's almost like I'm not sure what that was, but it sounded very scary. And like the brushes with death as I'm doing these videos are just all around. I survived that one too. What's happened today is that I could just nip in the bud like this first week of April, because housing lodging won't be available till like second, third weeks. But I can just get that done. Almost ready to start looking for a second job. Then it's just, I'm so close. But we had to have June 12th, September 8th, the first day, 2022, and all them other days. It just makes you feel like, feel a little bit wacky, but you like, it's paid off. You're working hard and it's paid off. So. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call. And I'll be there, yes, I will. You've got a friend. Here we are at the thrift store. Use that clothing voucher, and it is playing created its Carolina revival, and it does remind me of the Vietnam War and that missing girl right now, and it's very important. You can't get it off your mind if you want to. But it's my chance to like get out of this hoodie that I love that I've been wearing. It's like what it's a new color I'm gonna be wearing for a little bit, and I don't know yet. But I did check out the hats, and I think I'm gonna go with this one. I thought this was like GameCube or something, Nintendo, but it's Sanity Solutions, which I thought was a trash company. Like the other hat I have. This is a computer company in Denver. So maybe this one, it's the one I like the most, but this is like a check-in. This is like a cool little, it is important to, you know, look for stuff. I need to get some swim trunks. I'm gonna go to the rec center soon to swim. Start doing that. Now that I'm working, things like that can happen again. So I'm excited. I love these pants. They're Banana Republic. I'm fancy like my dad. They're like $7.99 too. I don't really have the shoes to go with it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and believe this tiny little pair of Banana Republic pants is for me. And I just had a homeless friend message me. He's like, I'm hungry tonight. And I'm like, tell me about it. We are just kind of like winging it. Till it's 6, till I get paid, till the Lord provides. He wants me to help him. I'm like, but I got like free cigarettes. So, what I'm having for dinner is just not. I went to the food bank. I need to do that. So I have the food bank food, but I don't have enough. You have to come over there. And it's not my place, you know? It's just like, I love these pants though. One thing, every single homeless person I've ever met, none of us were big. You had to go on diets. Not one of us. We're just skinny beans. Slim and sexy. Does this happen to you when you shop for clothes? You think your dad's quadruple Eberhard Bauhaus because his shirt says titanium on it? Now, I do have enough money. I could get those shoes there, fit the pants, but I don't like wearing used shoes. I don't. So I'm gonna wait till I get paid, and I might get a real nice pair, inexpensive, but no, pair of shoes. And then I found, every time I'm at this store, it reminds me of my friend Zach, because he works here, and he liked Nike, and then $4.99. So I think he's like Army black and white. I'm gonna do that. All right, so I went shopping, and this is gonna complete end of my day. I wasn't able to get the Nike shirt. I believe blue tickets were half off. So instead of the Nike shirt, I got this one that says, it's Matt Ryan from the Colts. I looked him up. I was like, sports. Zach he's probably a fan. And then I got this Army Green, military colored green t-shirt. So worked out. I got 2 shirts instead of that Nike one. And now I'm just gonna go take a bubble bath. I'm praying. I'll be happy. I've been defeating homelessness again. And tomorrow I'm gonna get up to work. Maybe one step closer, maybe. But we have already had pasta runny flying in the air today, and I think that's been enough. So it's kind of the end of my day, and I'm just like kind of editing and playing back and getting this video compiled. And I just remember being right here on the sidewalk on a scooter a few months ago with someone that was very much most of the time, and I believe still can be, a very good friend, Tamika Powers. And I was telling her, I don't know, and this is part of how I know that like the whole me trying to explain things got really out of sync. Or I was trying to explain to Tamika that day. I was like, I'm on this sidewalk going somewhere one time, and I have to be successful. You know, this sidewalk here, the one we just walked on, is pretty smooth, but not all of them always are. But like, you know, you're on the scooter, just thinking about the 16-time child with her death and everything. I just went through all the complexities of how much it's a challenge to get the mail. But, you know, I have got to be able to operate that scooter. You know, the bus ain't running, but
not running where you're going or whatever, you know, it's like either you're gonna walk or you're gonna take something else that you can, you know. And so you have to be able to be that mistake free. You know, it doesn't take, it's a broken leg. There is nobody else out here. It's going to help me. Actually, there is, and I cry about this. I was thinking about caring and who do I call on when I have those almost emergencies, right? Well, there's a couple of people out there that grew up on the West Coast. Well, I'm supposed to be different and fast and untrusty and all those premonitions about we from the South get. Well, there's been times, it was like a false alarm recently, but it was time when I was in the snow after midnight, bus stopped running, wasn't sure if I could even get in where I was going. Called this person and he said, "Where are you going?" "You come right here." He was gonna get me an Uber. It turned out to where he didn't have to, but it was just like an Uber in snow would have been like $24, $26. And it was just like, "Where are you?" You know, it's just because his mother was like, that's what it is. And it hits you a million times and you just never really fully, completely get used to it. Praise the Lord. It's knowing all that. Now, I will say, I was thinking a lot about the night when I was at work, about like just people's level of caring. You know, like my mother, for years, was like really blasted pissed that I was gay, and she was determined. She absolutely felt like she knew this, that my brother was going to have a horrible time at school because I chose to be gay. Whatever. I chose to be gay. I asked my brother multiple times as an adult. I was like, "Did you ever feel like you got bullied because me being who I am?" And he was like, "No, we're so far in age and the way our schools worked and everything. Nobody who knew me knew Drew. We got divorced, moved around, like 3.5 years apart. It just ended up being like, Mom had that whole big thing. She used to care about that. They cannot care about, you know, things like if I can get back to wherever it is I'm going, because I'm not going home on the scooter." Many times, I remember Jamaica, she just never really did get that. And I went to another section where the sidewalk is real, you know, I was like, look, it's got, this is, at the time it had fall leaves on it. I was like, I don't know where, you know, take the scooter because of the leaves. I've got to be thinking of all of that, while also thinking of everything else you're not thinking about. You know, it's just, that's how much it is, and that's why, you know, that's why I'm doing these videos, is to explain to everybody. You never thought of that, did you? You know, it's when you were applying for a job, you take back to your hotel room that you have for 2 weeks, just there, and you have to remember the night before you go to the hotel to take a pen with you so you can apply for on the paper application for the Old Millennium and New Millennium ready.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
7 years. 7.
You really can help make my wish come true with an office space or just general support. I don't have a penny to my name. I'm working. I've only been paid 1 day for the work I've already performed. Thank you for watching. God bless.